Welcome to All Things Retreat Podcast. I'm Holly Porter, your host and CEO of Retreat R&R. With over 25 years of experience in designing transformative retreats, I'm here to share insights and inspiration to help you create extraordinary experiences. Whether you're a pro or just starting out, you'll find valuable ideas here. Enjoy the ride. Let's dive in. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show today. We are going to be having a little more fun. We always have fun here, but I've got a great guest that I've been friends with and had the privilege to know for quite a few years. Her name's Jill Lublin, and she is a 25-year media magnet. She's a world-renowned publicity expert, international speaker, and 4-time best-selling author. Jill's made thousands of stage appearances along celebrities such as Tony Robbins, Barbara Corcoran, and Jack Canfield, just to name a few. She has worked with over 1,000 clients. Okay, hang on. My script just disappeared. I'll correct this. There we go. Okay, let's see. That was weird. I've never had that happen before. Okay, let me just back up. And Jack Canfield, just to name a few. She's worked with over 100,000 clients, implementing her signature formula for getting media attention, creating next level visibility in the marketplace that results in boosted sales. These lead and profit generation formulas are included in her signature program, the Media Mastery Intensive, and her monthly kindness circles. Welcome to the show, Jill.
Thanks so much, Holly. Great to be with you.
Well, we're excited to have you. I know we've been anticipating for a little bit. You've been on my calendar, and I'm excited. Today is the day we will be answering these PR questions.
Yes, thank you.
So tell me a little bit about your 25-year plus, we'll just say, veteran of PR. What's public relations for those who don't know?
Well, in my world, public relations happens from the minute you walk out your door. You're always doing public relations. So let's do it consciously, excitedly, or somewhat, at least making it clear of who you are, because it's always happening and it's important. My friend P.T. Barnum said it best, and that's a terrible thing happens without publicity. Nothing. So I think it's so key that you know that it's all public relations, and being interviewed like I am right now. This is fabulous PR. So podcasts, blogs, magazines, radio, newspapers, TV, it's all publicity.
Yeah, it's so funny because I went on a business cruise last year from Puerto Rico, and they refer everything as PR there. And I remember every time I hear it, I was like, wait, rewire. It's not PR here. It's Puerto Rico. Anyway, I have always been told, I ran for political office a couple times. I don't know if you knew that. And I always was told that all publicity is good publicity, good or bad, because it still gets your name out there. Of course, you don't want a bunch of lies spread about you, but I always thought that was interesting. So I always ask people for feedback, good, bad, or other. It's all good to me.
That's right. That's right. And that's wonderful that you do that, right? Because then you know where you stand. And I think that's a good thing, and how people perceive you, which is always interesting.
Yeah, it's their perception, but I'd like them to have a good one anyway.
Absolutely. If there is something weird, we got to correct it. But, the thing with most entrepreneurs is you're going to get good publicity. Somebody asked me in a previous interview recently about, is there bad publicity? And not honestly for most entrepreneurs. You're not going to make you look bad. The media wants you to look good.
Right. Yeah, especially if you're a publicist, because if they don't look good, you don't look good. Isn't that a song? Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, and really you need to be really careful about your image, because that is what people are seeing. And some people that get on there and do some crazy things, I just think that's the first thing I think of was, oh my gosh, you're never going to not be able to see that if you're searching that person. And so your image matters.
Yes, your image matters, you matter, your message matters, all of it. And that's the good thing. So it's good to get conscious about it, control it, and manage it from the minute you get out there.
Okay, so just as you were saying that, I'm having a question of my own here that I wonder if something gets put out about you, maybe it's a total lie, or maybe it's just not something you want out there. What would you say, in your professional opinion? How would you diffuse that?
Well, if for sad purpose, whatever, there's a bad review, one thing you can do is have the people who love you, support you, know you, and have great experiences with you start posting immediately. So it kind of drowns out that one. Just saying. That includes for books, for behavior, for who you are, products and services. And the other thing is, answer things like if somebody's launching at you. And on the other side of it, you can't please all the people all the time. So I think you sometimes just go forward and don't give a lot of PR to, if something is weird or off, just don't give a lot of attention to it and keep delivering, your great services and who you are, and know that, there's a lot of fans too. It's a funny thing, but I think staying positive and forward is always the best action.
Yeah. Well, and being truthful. I remember years ago, it was during one of my elections, and somebody posted something on social media that it was true, but there was no context to it. And so I immediately got on there and I didn't realize how many people were going to come to my defense. That was heartwarming. But I got on there and I actually stated a worse statement. Like I almost like blurb more than what they did, because I'm ethical and honest. And it was like, well, you don't have all the story, but yeah, it actually was this and this. And then after that, people just like reamed that person for even going there, because it was so unfair and unjust, even though there was a lot of truth to the statement. And sometimes you don't see things out of context. So I would suggest, and I don't know, back me up on this if you agree, if you see something posted about someone you know and love and know differently, and that's not true, like you said, get other comments. But wouldn't it be great if you don't have to ask for those? Wouldn't it be great if your integrity of a person was so good out there that people do come to your defense automatically, and be that person?
Yeah, and I don't need to say one thing. Social media is not publicity. I mean, listen, these posts, and it's so easy to make people wrong and rah, 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 about them. And it's not publicity. Publicity is what we're doing right now, being interviewed, being the expert, being focused on your message, right? And sometimes I'm like, all of that becomes noise. Yes, and I love your idea about, yes, support your friends, make sure, your colleagues that you are that a fan, so to speak, and you can speak up, when that's appropriate. But I really just want to say to all of you, social media is not publicity. It's not the same thing. Publicity is going to last longer. It's going to be very credible, frankly. It's earned media. It's other people talking about you, meaning radio, TV, podcasts, magazines, newspapers, all that fun stuff. You get to be the attention and, frankly, the expert who's interviewed and featured. And the braggability, oh my gosh, it lasts so long, and in fact forever. You can always say, like, I had a woman client the other day, she's like, I was featured on Time magazine 10 years ago, and even about something else that she's not even working on right now. And I said to her, Holly, guess what, you've been featured in Time magazine. It doesn't matter what it was, when it was, how long ago, what it was about, because media matters and everything counts.
Oh gosh, so true. Okay, so that's a good segue into the message behind all that. What is it, and how can someone create that?
So the message is really think of it like your foundation of everything you're putting out in the world. And so your message is about, what's the problem out there? That's the question I want you to think about. What's the problem out there? I didn't ask you what you do, but what's the problem out there? That makes a big difference. And I think people will respond well to that. And then you want, because you're the expert, to give real solutions. So have them in your pocket, know what to say, be specific, and be short and focused in your responses, because most media interviews, I tell you, with the ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox News, all those, 4 minutes is an average. I mean, that is so fast that you better know what to say and how to say it and what you want to say and what you'd like to, shall we say, emphasize. So that's important.
Well, that's a good thought. I have a mentor that always says to me, it kills me when he says that, because I'm like to tell stories, I guess. He'll say, in 10 words or less, blah, 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 or tell me or share with me. And I'm just like, 10 words or less? Like, I'm literally counting them as I'm thinking, what am I going to say that's going to communicate that in 10 words or less? But same reasoning.
Yes, it's exactly right. And it's called a soundbite. And when you start speaking and thinking and communicating in sound bites, the truth is you actually, and I don't mean you, I mean everybody, will be far more effective because of your ability to be concise and precise, which the media loves. I'm just saying, because think about 4 minutes or even 20 minutes like we're doing today. Guess what? It's not that much time to communicate a whole lifetime of PR experience for me, right? To all of you, but it's certainly a lot of time to communicate many great messages and important ideas. That's what I see.
So when we talk about experts, what's your opinion on that? What's an expert?
I think every one of you listening, watching is an expert. The question is, in what, right? So the point is, like, when I'm talking about guerrilla publicity, I'm an expert in publicity. When I'm talking about my book, The Profit of Kindness, I'm an expert in kindness, right? So you got to orient it toward what you're referring to. And then the fun thing is, in my world, we look at everything you've got, like what else is your story? And so I have a woman who's a business consultant. She has a son who's autistic. For National Autism Month, we go out talking about that, talking about her son, talking about her being a mom, talking about her being a working mom, and how do you deal with that in your world? That's an interesting story, which interestingly enough still drives everyone to her website. And in fact, almost endears her more because then they know a little more about you. And I think that's a powerful thing, especially in today's world. People want more trust and more connection. Just, it's important.
Yeah, I agree. So what's your secret sauce formula for creating a great media script?
Okay, if I tell you, you promise? No, it's okay. I will tell you my secret sauce.
Sure.
That is that you want to say this. The problem today is, and then fill in that blank. Keep it easy, keep it simple, keep it 5-year-old. Okay, I think a lot of people make things too complicated, talk too much explanation, and too much story. Just saying. So you want to create that, and then give people 3 things to do. Keep it simple and no big words, no big jargon. Just like tell people what to do because they want their problem solved. Correct? Right? We all do. So give it to them. Keep it simple.
All right. So if I was to say, Jill, I want more PR, I want more media, what would be the 3 things you would say to me?
I would tell you, let's get clear on your message. And I think that's important. And let's work in your story. I happen to know you have a great story. You have a varied background. You have things that have happened like we all do. I like those integrated in. That's number 1. Number 2, I'd like you to go to nationaldaycalendar.com and find some great holidays that are oriented and specific and fit what your message is, or, kind of unusual, right, around your message. It might be like my client who had a 4-year-old. I'm like, does she like hot dogs? He goes, yeah. I said, hey, there's National Hot Dog Day. We could talk about your daughter and get you in media.
I love that. And there's so many things on there. I've looked at that calendar, and when I see people using that tip, which maybe they got from you, I love it because it gives you something to think about. You're like, wow, they actually have a day for that. And there's a lot of things that fall on the same days in the calendar. We have 365 days. So
Absolutely.
like to create a meme around that and things, I do love when people do that and they're smart. I always think, oh, they're creative. And that just, I don't know, makes me like them even more because they're doing something a little bit different.
Right. Like National Pie Day. There's a pie shop, like 15 minutes from me. They're giving away free pie on National Pie Day. I mean, it's adorable, right? It's using all parts of different places that you can play. And there is a day for everything. It's really quite fun.
So what's your feelings on the pay to play, let me say it right, model?
I'm very mixed. I think that let's try for free publicity first. I'm not saying I'm against it, but I'd like people to try for free publicity first. I don't think you have to pay to be featured in most places. I mean, very rare exceptions. And if, sometimes you want to just generate some quicker get to the front first, you can pay for it. But the truth is, I'd rather you earn it and be featured, and really have a way that people know you around, because there's so many ways to free publicity now. And you know what, Holly, I'm more excited than ever about the opportunities for free publicity, because believe it or not, of all the podcast bursts, we love so many more opportunities, so many more opportunities to blog, so many more opportunities to control your own media, even, and to do lives and different things where you're the host and you're the great person with the tips. So much opportunity, and I think that is good news.
I think it's great news. Well, so how about a book? Well, okay, back up. Before we talk about the book, give us a definition of pay to play, because I'm thinking there's probably some listeners in here. Most of our listeners are retreat leaders of some sort, whether they're already seasoned or they're just starting out or aspiring. With that being in mind, a lot of them may not know what that means. Can you just kind of cover that?
Sure. What pay to play means is you're actually paying to be featured. So let's say something looks like an article. It's actually called an advertorial, where you actually write the article and it looks like an article that was featured by them. And yet you wrote it, you paid for it. So that's one possibility. Or magazine articles, sometimes they charge for things. Sometimes people charge you to be on their podcasts and other things. I just think there's so many wonderful opportunities. Let's try all the free stuff first. And if you have a very niche and targeted market that you might want to look at, but here's what that's called: advertising. It is. If you pay to be on a show, or you pay to have some publicity, you are actually advertising. It's not publicity. Publicity is free.
Yeah. So there's a big difference there. Okay, now let's talk about books. How would you use a book for
In
publicity?
terms of publicity and promoting yourself? Yes. Okay. So I'm a big believer in books, obviously, right? I have 4. Yes, I'm a believer in books. And especially, honestly, now it's so easy to create it, get one. I mean, I had a real estate retreat leader, and we did a, down and dirty manual. You can do things so simple now. And don't let, not having a book. Listen, a lot of my clients don't have any books. And the point is that, you want to be in media. You want to be known and seen and heard. And media does get you seen, heard, and paid. So books are wonderful. They're also a lot of work. I mean, I can just tell you that from start to finish. So one of the things, if people are going to have books, I always say, great, who's going to help you with it, and how's it getting done, and what's the deadline? Because I can't tell you how many people are still coming up to me going, I'm still working on that book. That's great. Don't let it stop your publicity or getting yourself out. That's really important.
I have a friend that's been working on her book. I bet she's on 11 years. And I remember her always asking me, how do you get stuff done so fast? I'm like, yeah, you set a deadline and you follow it. And it's funny because she still doesn't have that book out, because it'll never be perfect. And getting it done is better than perfect. It's just,
yeah. Can I just underline that and say progress, not perfection, right? Just get the thing done. And if it's not perfect, who cares? But do get it edited and, well done. But especially with all the opportunities to self-publish now, to publish with Amazon, and it's just so easy. And there are templates, and there are all kinds of things that people are offering now. So let's get with it. Let's get on the book trail, and frankly, I know lots of great people that can help. I'm sure you might too. It's just time. If that's your dream, let's get it done.
Okay, one more question. How do you use everything you've got?
Love everything you've got, because that's really about using your story, right? And your story, I say you, but I'm talking to everyone out there. Your story has interesting parts, twists and turns. I just had a couple the other day, and they're in business together. So we're going to do a story about in love and in business. And then we're putting parentheses about it most of the time, the in love part. Because it is interesting, right? And it's not just about their business, but it's about being in partnership, literally in love and in business. How do you make that work? So I think there's just so many different parts to us, that talking about other things is interesting, and that's using everything you've got. And then let's talk about the obvious, like being a woman for International Women's Day, or being Hispanic for Hispanic Heritage Month, and so on and so forth. You can actually use your ethnicity, your religion, all kinds of parts of all and who you are. It's good stuff, and it really works.
I think partnering with a nonprofit of some sort really can help you as well if you don't have your own. That's something.
Absolutely.
All right. I know we could talk forever, Jill, and I have probably 100 more questions for you. But if people want to dig in further, or maybe you could have a free gift, we could put the link in our podcast at the show notes. But how would they contact you?
I'd love to give you a free gift, which is a wonderful publicity action guide filled with great tips on how to put your name out there and do it in simple ways, and a live interactive publicity class with me where I'm going to give you and more good tips as well as the opportunity to ask great questions. So you can get that at jilllublin.com/guide.
I love that. Okay. And if you didn't catch that, or you're driving while you're listening to this or need to catch it later, we'll make sure it's in the show notes where you can just click on it, go right to her website and check out some more. I know Jill's been doing this for a long, long time. So she definitely is an expert in that PR field for sure. But thank you so much for joining us. Do you have any last words of wisdom for anybody before we go?
Yeah, I really want to be a voice for all of you that it's time to get started wherever you are. Drop the perfection and need to be perfect. Publicity is perfect for wherever you are because it's an evolutionary process. So you start where you are, you make some impact, and then you keep going. Because here's the bottom line. Your message matters. I look forward to helping you.
Thank you. Beautiful way to end. Okay, thanks everybody. Well, go check Jill out and we'll see you next week on the show. Bye for now.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of All Things Retreat. We hope you're leaving with new ideas, fresh inspiration, and the motivation to take your retreats to the next level. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. It helps us grow and reach more retreat leaders like you. And if you have any questions, topics you'd like us to cover, or just want to say hello, send us an email at info@weretreatrnr.com. Follow us on social media to stay connected and catch all the latest updates. Until next time, remember, great retreats start with great intentions. Let's make them extraordinary, one step at a time. Thinking about hosting a retreat? Before you dive in, let's make sure you're really ready. Grab your free Are You Retreat Ready checklist and find out if you've got everything in place from your purpose and pricing to your audience and agenda. Don't guess. Get clear. This quick checklist will show you exactly where you stand and what you need to make your retreat a success. Click the link below in the show notes to grab your gift and take the first step toward hosting with confidence.